Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to give you a quick update on which battlefields we're gonna visit. Living in the south of the Netherlands, I have the privilege to visit these battlefields they're within a couple of hours distance. So I'm gonna take you to these battlefields, but it will take a long time, so I will do them one by one. But I will actually visit these. Now, if you look at this map, welcome to my world, basically. You can see here three countries making this map. One is Germany, one is the Netherlands, and one is Belgium. Now, if you see the town of Maastricht, and Maastricht actually stands for the River Maas, where it's based at, and this is a very ancient Roman settlement. Actually, the Romans founded it as a merchant crossing over the River Maas. So Maastricht has always been a very important objective in any strategics and wars in this region. Now just southwest of Maastricht, on the other side of the Albert Canal. And the Albert Canal is basically a channel that divides Netherlands and Belgium on that border section. There's the fortress of Eben Emael. And Eben Emael is the strongest fortress in 1940 in Europe. So, and it's actually just based maybe like I'd say 8 miles from here. So that's not very far. Now if I'm right, I can freely walk on top of the fortress, but I had some times when I visited there or went with my dog to walk the dog there, that there would be a soldier post actually in front of the entrance of the fortress with a K9 guard dog. And this dog would actually start barking as soon as you walk past the guard post. And that would draw out the Belgian soldier, and he would, stand you to attention and stop you from from going up there. But one time this was during a military exercise was going on top of the fortress by the Belgians. So, but the last times I visited it last year, I saw people just, freely moving up and down on top of the fortress, where we can see its main bunkers and its main weaponry, of course, the casemates, the guns and these guns had to protect Maastricht and the Belgian town of Liège, south of Maastricht. And Liège was also later in 1944 a major important objective for the Germans during the Battle of the Bulge. And you can also see to the west coast, you can see Antwerp. And this was the main objective of the Germans during that great battle. Now, the Ardennes is actually not very far from here. But it's not really like you can go there quickly for one day. At least not if you're me, because I like to, take a room there in a hotel and visit all the little towns like Bastogne and stuff like that. And I visit these plenty of times before I actually almost grew up in the Ardennes. During my summer days I go there camping and on kayaking, and even in summer the Ardennes is a very beautiful thing, and there's a lot of campings and just people chilling and relaxing in the nature. So, and in winter it becomes very majestic, and it's nice to do walks there in nature. So I know the Ardennes very well, but what I actually want to draw you more to the attention is that east you can see the town, east of Maastricht you can see in Germany the town of Aachen. And Aachen was also a very important objective in 1944 for the Allies. And it's all severe fighting. And just south of Aachen is the Hurtgen Forest. And the Hurtgen Forest is actually the bloodiest battle the US Army, and one of the longest US Army has ever engaged in. Official records state that about 33,000 Americans died there, but we here, the locals, believe that that actual number is way, way higher, because we suspect that a lot because of the Battle of the Hurtgen Forest was a truly meat-grinding battle. And the Americans would lose thousands of people. It was terrible, and they would lose thousands of people for just a few miles of gaining ground. And these were just criminal frontal assaults that should not have happened. And the Germans say this, The most historians say this, even the American historians say this, like this was a true meat grinder. Not even a general who had the balls to visit the front, to see what their guys were up against. And when one, I believe it was Jim Gavin of the 82nd Airborne that would eventually come there, he would cry and he would say, did we actually send regular troops into this hell? Because they should have used special forces or elite troops long before that. Because this was an infantryman's worst nightmare. So I'm planning on visiting the Hurtgen Forest, but till then I would like to show you the movie When Trumpets Fade. This is a very unknown, underrated World War II movie, and I rate it up there with one of the best I've seen. Now, it might be a little low budget right here and there due to effects, but just trust me, this movie is incredible. It's got an incredible story. It doesn't promote war, and it shows actually how brutal the Battle of the Hurtgen Forest was. So if you type in on YouTube right now, the Battle of the Hurtgen Forest, you get directly to the movie. Let's see how many time I've got. Yeah, I got a little more time. Let's see what's up more. Yeah, in the north you can see Eindhoven. Eindhoven was the target of the 101st Airborne Division, the Americans, during Operation Market Garden. And there's actually a road near here where two SS Panzer divisions retreated from Normandy and they would fight in the Battle of Arnhem later on. So that road is also not very far from here, but you know, it's just a road. And what I have more for you is something I have never visited before, but I really love to, and that's Waterloo. Now, if you can see due west, you can see the capital of Belgium, Brussels. Now, just south of Brussels is the village of Waterloo. And that's where the battle took place in 1815, where a coalition of Prussians, Germans, British and Dutch troops defeated Napoleon. Indefinitely. So I would like to tell you about, because we all know the British contribution and Wellington's story to this battle, but I would like to tell you a little bit about the Dutch fighting there. So this is gonna be over a longer time period. I'm not gonna do one of these every week. I don't have the time for that. So the first one will be, I think, Eben Emael, and I got one more that's pretty interesting. It's not very much to see, but it's still interesting, and I like to visit it for you. And it's the closest one actually, and this is just north of where I am at. And right there, the Germans tried to establish a V2 assembly factory into a solid rock mountain. Now, you think, mountain and hills, what? Yeah, the south of the Netherlands and this region is basically an outcrop of the Ardennes forest as well. And so is the Hurtgen Forest in Germany. So, and in this province in the south of the Netherlands called Limburg, it's very hilly, very forested, and you know, it's actually a privilege to live here, in my opinion, because I'm central to all these fronts, all these battlefields. And in the town of Maastricht itself, you know, it's crazy. The amount of history we have here is like insane. When we go here on a metal detector, it doesn't take you very long to find musket balls or whatnot. And I've even found one of those clippers that officers used to prepare their musket balls, you know, and they would cut it off with the iron stuff, you know, with liquid iron. They would cut it off and they would have a ball. And I actually have one of these, and I will show you this later on. But this is, you know, we're gonna visit all that, and it's gonna be great, man. I'm gonna show you all that. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I see you very soon on Fortress Eben Emael. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to give you a quick update on which battlefields we're gonna visit. Living in the south of the Netherlands, I have the privilege to visit these battlefields within, you know, they're within a couple of hours distance. So I'm gonna take you to these battlefields, but you know, it will take a long time, so I will do them one by one. But I will actually visit these. Now, if you look at this map, Welcome